Okay, what we have here is the Fluval 406 and also the Marineland 360. And what we're going to do in this video is we're just going to go over some of the pros and cons of each filter. Now behind me here we have a 200-gallon softwater aquarium with inert gravel. Now that's soft water, not to be confused with salt water. Those are two completely different aquariums. And what we did is we ran one of each of these on this tank for 6 months. So let me go ahead and get into some of the things that I noticed about each one of these filters. First thing here with the Fluval 406. One thing I love about this filter is the size. This is the perfect size, just in my opinion. And something else I really like about it is the clips. You only have 2 clips here on the sides. But what I really like about them is they snap in very easily. On the Marineland here, first of all, this one's about probably 40% larger than the Fluval. And it has 4 clips, and they could be kind of difficult to get on. You see, they kind of pop off, and if you have it put away under your aquarium stand, especially if it's in the back, it could be a little difficult to get them and open it up. Now, something that a lot of people are concerned with when they buy a filter is the sound. Nobody wants a noisy filter. Well, both of these are very quiet. However, with the Marineland, we did notice that it's very quiet. In fact, we had a couple of times where we had to check if it was still on because of how quiet it was. Now I'd like to talk about the water flow. How does the water flow through the filtration system? Now on the Fluval, let me just go ahead and open it up here. The water, it comes right down here. This red piece here is actually a divider. So it goes down here and then it crosses over, and here's your basket. So it goes under the baskets and then comes up. What we don't like about this section where it crosses over is that it's very small and a lot of debris builds up right there. Not too big of a deal because the bulk of the filtration is inside of the baskets. Let me show you here. And in fact, you can see that there is a gap right here. And on this side, there is another smaller gap. So part of the water goes down here, part of the water goes down here. But the problem is that it doesn't really hit these sponges consistently. Again, not a big deal, but it is something that I wanted to point out. In fact, on the new 407 model, they actually replaced this sponge with a much thicker one. So it shows that they are addressing the problem. Now on the Marineland, what you have here is you got your baskets right here, and you have this little plastic tube on the side. These stack on top of each other. The bottom one sits about 1 inch off the floor, and the water all goes down these tubes, hits the bottom, and then flows back up. This design works great. We noticed the filtration was very consistent from one end to the other, and we love that about this filter. One of the problems, or actually 2 of the problems, the first problem is that these are so big and bulky, they can be a little difficult to line them up. Each one stacks on top of each other, and this little plastic circle has to fit in just right. If they don't, the water will leak out the sides somewhere in the middle of the filtration. And that's something that, of course, we don't like, but you have to be careful with those to make sure it doesn't happen. Another thing we don't like about the Marineland is the size of these. Now, if you don't mind the stock filters and you're okay with always buying the stock, then no problem. But if you like to run aftermarket media or aftermarket filters, then this could be a hassle because you have to fill them up. If you don't fill them up all the way, the water and the debris is simply just going to go around it. And to give you an idea of the size difference, where on the Fluval 406, this is the perfect size, very convenient, so you can put whatever you want in here. Easy to get to, easy to stack up. So the canister size is a big plus for the Fluval. Okay, but again, if you like the larger filters, you can see the Fluval uses 2 of these, where the Marineland uses the 1 large polishing pad. So you're going to get much more filtration from this one. So I know I'm jumping kind of back and forth, pros and cons, but I'm trying to cover everything here. Okay, now let me go ahead and get into the hookups. Both of the hookups on these are very similar in the sense that all you have to do is snap this little button and then it lifts up and you could do your water changes or move your canister or whatever you want to do. But the plus on the Marineland is that, first of all, these swivel, which the Fluval does not. They only point straight up. But also the Marineland kept theirs the standard size. So these are compatible with just about every type of aquarium tubing there is. The Fluval changed to their own size. In fact, see if the camera will pick that up. If you see that the Fluval is considerably smaller. And so they went to this type of tubing here. And again, this could be a good thing or a bad thing. If you like to use aftermarket parts, such as an external filter, or if you need extended length of tubing, then you're going to have to modify this. If you don't want to use this tubing at all, you have to modify it to get standard tubing to fit this. It's not a big deal, it's relatively easy to do, but it is something a lot of people have been complaining about. Now, if this is what you need and this will do, then they say this is actually better than the standard vinyl that comes with Aquariums. So if this is all you need, then this would actually be an upgrade. Now, overall, which one would I say is the better filter? I would probably have to go with the Marineland, and a lot of that has to do with price. If you research the internet, we're talking Amazon, Petco, PetSmart, Chewy. At any given time, you're going to find the Marineland 360 for right around 130 bucks. On the Fluval, I never seen them below $200. So that's a $70 difference. Now, and given that they kept the standard hookup tubing and it has a very consistent filtration in it, I would have to say that is the better deal. However, they are both excellent filters. And for myself, I'm going to have to keep the Fluval. Not to sound like a hypocrite, but I'm limited on space. And so therefore, I'm going to keep the Fluval. I hope you found this video helpful. We have a couple other videos coming up on pH. If you want to learn how to turn your aquarium into a saltwater aquarium, we're going to have a couple videos on that. So thanks for watching.